Our next topic in financial mathematics is what's called a payout annuity. So in a payout annuity, this is kind of the opposite situation of what we were talking about in the last video, which is to say in an annuity, you save a particular amount each month. In a payout annuity, you start with a large amount and then you withdraw a particular amount each month, okay? And so because your account is collecting interest, it's not just as simple as saying, oh, I start with $1,000. If I withdraw $100 each month, then it'll last for 10 months, okay? It actually lasts longer than that. In that case, not a lot longer, but a little bit longer, because you're also adding on the interest each time, okay? So if you think about the example we did last time where we're figuring out how much we needed to save each month to have $20,000 saved for college, the opposite, the payout annuity kind of side of that is after you've saved $20,000 for college, how much can you withdraw each year for 4 years? And remember, this account pays 8% interest. Okay? And so like I said, it's tempting to say, okay, 20,000, 4 years, so $5,000 a year. But you can actually pull out more than that because of this interest that you're earning. Okay? To figure out how much more, we're going to use what's called the payout annuity loan formula. We'll talk about the loan part in a bit in our next video, but for now we're going to think about this as payout annuity formula. And so what the payout annuity formula says is that P equals D times 1 minus 1 plus R over K to the negative RT all over R over K. Okay, so it looks similar to the annuity formula. There's a negative sign here. The 1 minus is on the other side, but other than that, very similar. Okay? Notice over here that we've got a P instead of an A. That's because this P stands for principal. Just like it did before in simple and compound interest, this is the amount that we have at the start. So in this case, it would be $20,000. So in this particular problem, we have $20,000 at the start. That's our principal. We want to know how much we can pull out each year. Okay, so we're looking for D. We know the rest of this. The rate is 8%. How often are we going to pull money out? So we want to withdraw money each year. So once a year is going to be our K equals 1. Okay, this should be negative KT. I apologize for that. That should be a K there, just like it was before. So negative 1 times 4 years, all divided by 0.08 over 1. Okay? And so just like we did before, if we want to know how much we can withdraw each year, we're going to solve for that D. Okay? So this can actually be simplified quite a bit. So this is actually pretty simple numbers here. So we've got 20,000 equals D times 1 minus 1.08, right? 0.08 divided by 1 is just 0.08, plus 1 gives us 1.08 to the negative 4, all divided by 0.08. Okay? And so if we want to solve for D, again, just like we did before, we take 20,000 times 0.08 is going to give us D times 1 minus 1.08 to the negative 4. And then move that over to the other side. 20,000 times 0.08 divided by 1 minus 1.08 to the negative negative 4 equals D. Okay? And so solving there, we get, where's my calculator? Let's see, 20,000 times 0.08 divided by 1 minus 1.08 to the negative 4 gives us D equals 6,038.42. Okay? So like I said, more than you would expect, right? You'd say $20,000 over 4 years, that's $5,000 a year, but you can actually pull out $6,000 a year because of that additional interest that you're getting. Okay? So that's one way to use the payout annuity formula. If you're doing the reverse, say you know how much you want to pay out, and you are trying to figure out how much to save. So for example, say college is $10,000 a year. You have an account that pays, say, 9%. How much do you have to save to pay for 4 years? Right, so how much would you have to have saved at the beginning of college to make sure that the money lasts for 4 years? So we would set this up. This time we're looking for P. We're looking for how much we want to have saved at the beginning. So we've got P equals the amount, 10,000. That's the amount that we need each year, times 1 minus 1 plus 9% over 1 to the negative 1 times 4, all over 9% divided by 1. And this we can just put directly into our calculator. No need to solve. 10,000, oops, do need parentheses though. 10,000 times 1 minus 1.09 to the negative 4 divided by 0.09. And we get that the original amount that we need to have saved, as my calculator comes through with this, is $32,397.20. Okay? So rather than needing to have 10,000 times 4, $40,000, we only need $32,397.20. Okay? So those are just some problems. So annuity is where you're saving the same amount each month. Payout annuity is where you're withdrawing that amount each month or each year or something like that. Okay, so make sure you know the difference and which formula to use when. There's going to be another video about kind of choosing which formula to use at the end of all of these. Okay? In our next video, we'll talk about loans where you have to make a payment back each month or each year.